What I heard in Washington, Mr. Speaker, was that people were disappointed in the absence of the Prime Minister.
So, CBC Watcher, deals for the UK 2, deals for Canada 0. I think that Mark Carney does not want to resolve the tariff situation with the states, and I fear that he is going to sabotage the USMCA, the free trade deal, Canada, US, Mexico. I fear he's going to sabotage that next year as well as it comes up for renegotiation. He keeps talking about Europe all the time. Somehow that 7% trade with Europe is going to replace the 80% with the United States. And then all of a sudden, there's polling about how much Canadians want to join the EU, which, considering we're not in Europe, seems like kind of an odd question. An ocean away. It's not right next door like the United States is, with all those convenient roads and like railway tracks and stuff that are really good for trade. I'm very concerned that Mark Carney that his sabotage of the country is going to be even worse than people thought it was going to be, or that people could have imagined. We shall have to see, but I'm very concerned. I mean, here again, the UK, you've got 2 deals already. Nothing for Canada, nothing. Apparently, Carney is talking to Trump by text messages. What?
That's why we both benefit from this incredible relationship. Look at the economic prosperity deal that we struck back in May. It was the first trade deal that the president made. And yes, it was the best deal as well. In a moment, the president and I will sign our groundbreaking new technology partnership, the Tech Prosperity Deal.
Gee, so he's signing deals with the world's largest economy. So that kind of makes sense, right? Nothing from Carney. It feels like he doesn't want anything. He kept talking during the election about how Canada was going to lead some kind of global trade alliance against the U.S.
Canada is ready to take a leadership role in building a coalition of like-minded countries who share our values.
Just total nonsense gibberish. Trying to draw us closer, saying that we're the most European, non-European country. It was just a load of gibberish, a bunch of nonsense. And it was very concerning because you start to suspect that he's got some very, very implausible plans. Let's just put it like that. And it feels like Carney isn't trying. He doesn't want anything. And let's hear from Yves Francois Blanchet, leader of the Bloc. What does he have to say about this? He's been down in Washington and talking to people.
What I heard in Washington, Mr. Speaker, was that people were disappointed in the absence of the Prime Minister, even though the ministers visited. And people think that there's a lack of respect in the government's attitude that says this privileged relationship is finished with the U.S. So I asked the Prime Minister to correct this yesterday. Is the government not concerned that the United States legitimately, before negotiation, be concerned with the attitude from the Canadian government?
Yeah, it sounds like they're not trying. It sounds like intentional sabotage. I mean, is the end game? It sounds ludicrous. It sounds ludicrous, but I really wondered when I saw those polls coming out about Canadian support for the, joining the EU. It seems so weird and almost random. And I thought something is cooking. They're testing the waters because with Canadian media, everything is coordinated, obviously, right? Coordinated with the Liberal Party. Is he cooking up some crazy scheme to join the EU so that he can further his net zero gibberish with, half willing? The EU isn't even fully in on this stuff anymore as their economies are crumbling, right? They're starting to wake up to reality. They've signed huge energy deals with the United States. No carbon taxes over there, no net zero for the United States. They're eagerly taking that. When Mark Carney talks about we have to make our industries more climate competitive, who is he talking about? Not the United States, not China, not India. I feel there is some weird, chaotic scheme by Carney, which is going to equal disaster. And his plan is to totally sabotage our relationship with the United States, our trade relationship with the United States. Something is very off here. Something is very strange and off. Right. He should be down there trying to hammer something out. We see other world leaders hammering out deals. Why not Canada? We're right next door. It's 80% of our trade. What's happening is crazy. Over to all the elbows up crowd who trash talk the U.S. Wake up. Well, let's see. Nominal GDP, Texas, 2.7 trillion. Canada, 2.4 trillion. So the economy of Texas is larger than Canada. That's one state. So that's something you might want to consider before a trade war. GDP rank, global, 8th, if a country. Canada, 9th. Population, 30 million for Texas, 40 million for Canada. So more people, but performing worse. GDP per capita. GDP per capita. Canada used to just be par. Just you see the lines on a graph and they would just match each other. Since Trudeau, the United States has gone up and Canada has gone down. So now the difference between Texas, 89,000, and Canada, 59,000 GDP per capita. Canadians are much less wealthy than people in Texas. There's ominous stuff happening from the Canadian government, which should concern Canadians if they care to pay attention, which most of them don't. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.